7, the last round, yeah. And we have Wochuk versus Dominic. We've seen both of these players play today. They are playing it really for the big one here. Let's take a look at their record. So
yeah, this is the winning in for both of them. A win here will send them into top 8. The rest of top 8 is practically locked up already. Everybody's pretty much drawn in. So this is one of the remaining matches to see who will go on into the top 8. And we have Alex Brosseau, a.k.a. Wochuk, versus Dominic, who we did see earlier playing against Ali with her location deck. So, like Gabe mentioned, both these players have been featured on stream already. And we shall see how the match plays out. You would think that it'd probably be a pretty bad matchup for Alex with Blue Steel, but Alex, has proven earlier that even against Red Blue, which was supposed to be his bad matchup, he still pulled it off. So we shall see if Alex is able to navigate this match and get a W here.
Well, if you were to ask Alex, he would tell you that he's built different. I'm sure
he is, and he's not wrong. But yeah, it's going to be Dominic's not going to go down without a fight.
Absolutely not.
And Dominic does have some cards in his list that I think are a little bit more dead against Alex than they were against Ali. Things like the Wreck-It Ralph and stuff like that. I don't know how good that will be against Alex here, but we'll see.
Yeah,
see how it fares.
Yeah, I mean, so Dominic does have some fire the cannons and things like that to deal with smaller threats, but whether they can deal with something like a Daisy Duck or a Nala, that'll be interesting. And we're seeing Alex kind of run for the races here. He's got 3 characters on board. He's got that Cinderella, he's got that Daisy Duck, he's got Nala. Speaking of Nala, she's down, and Dominic is sitting here with 2 items. Waiting to get to that Hiram draw cycle.
And Ariel will take a peek at the top 4. We see a whiff come from Alex. Oof. So that's not a good feeling. Unless he already has a song he's looking for in hand. Maybe he's baiting it, like, oh, I didn't hit a song. And then all of a sudden, boom, whole new world.
Or it's a second whole new world that he doesn't want to put into his hand.
Right.
You could be that too.
The mind games. We don't know. So Hades goes to the hand. Which I can imagine won't stay there long if we do go on a magic carpet ride. But for now, there is a Hades added to Dominic's hand.
Yeah.
And Dominic getting his turn back with 4 ink once he decides to ink his card. Which, so I'm not sure what he can do with 4 ink that's really going to be able to address the amount of pressure that he is dealing with at the moment. We have Hawk. Oh, I guess we have Pluto, but Pluto... it's just going to be a little slow. Your opponent's still going to get a full quest in. Yeah, he's not running Zeus. So Dominic is not running Zeus. So that is going to be something that's not going to be able to deal with what's on the board right now either. So yeah, Dominic will have to basically go to turn 4, drop something to create a bit of a board presence, and hope that he can stabilize his board, and take back some of the control that Alex got really, really early. Okay, we see Dominic doing the thing here. He's going to go ahead and ink that Bleakly. Run out the Fishbone Quill, and that gets him another ink here. So does manage to ramp up with quite a bit of ink here, and I believe just kind of dumping his hand just in case the wheel is on the horizon here.
Yeah, and Alex is exactly where he needs to be against the Blue Steel deck, and he knows it. He's went ahead and pulled the Daisy trigger on that, and we've got a
He's got a whole new world coming.
Yep, and he's singing that whole new world. It's exactly what he needed to do.
He let him draw the Tamatoa on purpose.
Yep.
And then added it to the discard, which I love to see that.
Yeah. Boy, have I suffered the fate of that at the hands of Alex.
Yep.
I'll tell you what.
Yep. You're so excited to get that character back to your hand, and then he says, yeah, about that.
Yeah. You got to put him on habit, and he has it.
All right, so Wochuk gets to refill up his hand here, and continues to just dump stuff onto the field. And so he's got Ursula in play. Smee, I believe, is what that is behind his name there.
That is, yeah, that's correct. That is a Smee.
Okay, he's going to move him out of the way for us.
And an Ursula, the Vanessa Ursula.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, and we move over back to Dominic here, and I see our production manager getting the name situated there, so thanks for that. That way we don't have him in the way of our board. Yeah,
and taking a look at this board state, Skinner, this is, I mean, what do you do at this point, right?
Well, you definitely want to grab your sword, right? That's definitely going to be a start here, and it's unfortunately not gonna help quite enough.
No, I mean, the only thing he's going to get rid of, even with a grab your sword, is just that Cindy. Everything else survives.
Oh, that's right. The Nala's a 0/4. You're right.
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking at a Sail the Azurite Sea, hoping to ink, get a little bit closer to something. But looking at the table, you've got 8 lore on the table right now, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lore on the table. You're on a you're on a 2-round clock, a 2-turn clock rather. Yeah, this is tough. This is a tough spot to be in. I mean, you have to hope that he draws Tinkerbell or plays Tinkerbell and tries to do something. Right? It's just
somehow. But yeah,
this is just a tough spot.
It's just a little slow.
There's the sword.
There is a sword, but as we mentioned,
Yeah.
although it looks really nice, it's not going to do much.
No. Yeah.
And that pretty much spends out Dominic's whole turn.
It does.
Which is not something that's great for Dominic.
It's not. So next turn, let's assume Dominic has a Tinkerbell. He plays the Tinkerbell. He's gonna be able to get rid of the aerial. The Smee will be gone, assuming that Alex quests with it.
I can't see him not questing here with that.
Yeah, you have to at this point. You just got to put the pressure on. So a Tinkerbell would do some significant work here, but you have to argue that it might be too little, too late here.
Oh,
and there's a Rapunzel to give.
About that.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for Dominic.
Such a punishing card that Rapunzel is. That long blonde hair girl is just so good at picking up where the opponent just thinks that they're about to get an edge. Oh, look, I'm playing a new card. I'm still here. And Dominic will read that one.
Yeah.
I'm still here. A new song that some Amber Steel decks are playing that does draw you a card, and it gives you your character resist too. So there's a character that you're worried about maybe falling off next turn.
Yeah.
He does give it to the Smee, which is a great play because now the Smee will not go at the end of the turn.
Right, exactly.
And he's got resist 2 till next turn.
Yeah, and I mean,
so he even if the crackback comes from Dominic, you see he reveals the fire the cannons off the top of the daisy.
Yep.
That's not a card that you want to get rid of.
Not what you wanted to see. I actually was asking Alex about the inclusion of this card earlier today, and he, one of the things he thought he shared was, when you think about songs at that cost point, things like World's Greatest Mind, or Bare Necessities, you'd much rather have something like this because it can stop a Maui from killing some of the characters in his deck.
Absolutely.
So,
and it draws you a card, so anything that draws cards always there you go. Alex taking game 1, Dominic packing it up, and moving over to game 2.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Dominic leads off with a popsicle as expected. Passes it back over to Wochuk.
Let's see what he drops for his turn 1. I mean, you got to wonder what he's got. Alex is declaring he's got the perfect hand. So let's see what that means.
We already know there's a Daisy involved. Oh, it looks like there's a Cindy. Okay,
yep.
Cindy. I do like Cindy a little more on the draw. She is able to sing a song that might be able to maybe deal some damage. Obviously Daisy's also a very good one drop, but Cindy, I do prefer her on the draw sometimes.
All right.
Okay, cool.
And so we have to make sure that we keep that in mind as well. So I think you're right though. When we think about the Cindy generally speaking, you want to play that when you're on the play. Give yourself a little bit of control there. Alex is dropping additional characters as well now on his second turn. He's just trying to get that board presence, just like he did last game. He's sticking to the strategy. He's sticking to the strategy, which is he is going to keep putting bodies on the board.
Right. I do like the Jim Hawkins play here. This will allow him to, start trading with these Cinderellas if they do tend to turn sideways here. But as of right now, it looks like Alex just standing tall, choosing not to quest with anything. We do see Dominic inking that big Pluto, putting down a Quill. Okay, so Dominic, executing his game plan here. Hawkins does gain the +4 challenger here, but unfortunately, not able to trade into anything as of right now due to nothing being exerted here.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're seeing a spot here for that.
For sure. All right, Wochuk checking the top 4 of his deck, trying to see if
Hector, how'd it go, man?
we're joined by the homie.
So Hector, who just played his game, Hector, it looks like you went 2-0, man. You can be heard on the microphone, so feel free to speak up, man. How'd your matchup go?
Went pretty well.
Pretty well. Okay. Congrats on top 8, sir.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
You excited?
Yep. Let's see who I play.
Okay, yeah, that's the way the game works, isn't it?
Hopefully, if Chuck wins, I want to get revenge, bro.
Oh, yeah, so Hector's looking for revenge on Alex. So we'll see how
Top
that
10
works.
anime betrayals of all time, dude.
Yeah.
So I played both of them. I lost to Chuck, and then the round before I drew with Dominic. That was just one draw.
Yeah, so you did, and we actually got to see your match against Alex.
Yeah, grab your swords.
Yeah, we got to see your match against Alex on stream too, which was really cool.
So Hawkins putting 1 damage on the aerial and then following it up with a grab your sword
Wow.
to just go ahead and wreak havoc across the board there. So we shall see only the Nala stands alone, and we
Yeah.
have a 5/5 Jim Hawkins in play, the quest for 2, which is definitely problematic here for Alex.
It is, yeah.
Let's see if he has a clean answer to it. He does play, Along Came Zeus and things like that can deal with this Jim Hawkins. But let's see if Alex is able to pull any of that off here.
Yeah, Alex is it seemed as though Alex thought he was safer. He had a better presence on the board. He lost that presence, and now we are in a spot where he's kind of starting over again, and he needs to figure out his footing in order to lock in his strategy. So
There's a Zeus.
He's Zeusing away. He's Zeusing away the body that is on that board. He's questing with that Nala. Can he recover, and can he make sure that he keeps that count of glimmers on the board that he needs in order to win and push out that whole new world?
All right, we see Dominic loading up a Hiram. He will send it into the discard to draw 2. And play a steel popsicle, as I like to call it, and draw himself another card here. And so we're drawing 3 cards extra this turn, so definitely digging a little deeper. Oh, let's do 4 cards extra.
Yeah, why not, right? Hey, you may as well.
So we are digging through the deck, and meanwhile, Alex only with 1 Nala in play. So if you're Dominic, most likely feeling good in this position. You've got your ink out, you've got lots of cards in your hand.
Yeah, that was tough. Yeah, and Rapunzel comes down and gives Alex 2 additional cards.
Yeah, yep.
Heals the Nala, which is exactly
We
what.
have 3 ink. I see 3 ink on the field.
Yeah, I think
Right.
he's only got 3 or 4. No, he has 4 because he.
No, you tapped 3 for a bunch. I only see 3 tapped.
No, they're
Okay.
yeah, he's got them stacked. Yeah.
He's got 4.
What to say?
No, yeah, he's good.
All right. Quest up to 2.
Yep.
And sends it back over. So Dominic getting yet another turn to turn his ink upright.
Yep.
And spend them on whatever he decides he wants to do here. Hiram will
Immediately
take the lead here.
That was without even thinking. He turned that thing sideways. He
Yeah.
needs to see those cards.
Let's draw some cards.
All right, let's see what he draws. Let's see what he's able to do with the magic. So he's tapping 2. He's putting down Chicha. So he's looking for more card draw. He wants to just take the advantage on the card draw, which could be scary if there's a wheel waiting for him on the other side of that. Mm-hmm. But
he would have to cast the wheel
he would have to.
outright.
Correct.
And probably not a good position for Alex. So I think Dominic's smart here, trying to take advantage and
Yeah.
draw some extra cards while he knows that it'd be at a disadvantage for Chuck.
Yeah.
So we see another card going into the inkwell.
Yep.
Chicha will go ahead and recycle it.
Yeah, Dominic is definitely doing what he needs to do in order to keep his ink count significantly higher. He's got what he needs to handle a lot of problems. He's getting ready to tap. Was that 4 ink that he? Yeah, it was.
Looks like 3 ink.
3. It looked like it was 3.
Yeah, exerting that to play.
Could be a Pete,
Could be Pete.
which wouldn't. No, he opted not to. So he
said no.
decided not to tap those cards. He said, "Go ahead, it's your turn, buddy." And he's gonna wait and see what Alex does first.
All right, so Wochuk, ball's back in his court. See him thinking about it. Definitely, probably considering if he wants to put more stuff out on the board, but pretty scary predicament. Yeah, very difficult spot.
And there comes Ariel. He's gonna look for the top 4 cards. He's gonna look for songs.
All right.
Let's see if he finds one.
Something. He found a Raging Fire.
Yep, Strength of a Raging Fire goes to the hand.
Okay, so currently that does 3 damage, which fortunately 3 does not equal 6, so the high room
No.
is still not in any danger.
Yep.
But let's see if he's able to string together some plays here to maybe put himself back in a dominant position on the board.
Yeah, the assumption has to be made that there's potentially a Pete waiting for him on the other side of it. So I think from Alex's perspective, you've got to put it. Oh, okay. So we put a Pete down in kind.
Okay.
So you've got to figure you either use it or you're gonna have to wait a couple turns before you can blow through any actions that you draw.
All right, so let's see, what's the worst thing that can happen if we quest for with Rapunzel and the Nala here? How can our opponent punish us, really?
Tinkerbell.
Yeah, Tinkerbell, but wouldn't be able to quest right away.
Tinkerbell runs over, cleans out the Nala. Or worse. Well, or maybe at this point he's only at 5 lore. Maybe Tamatoa's coming down.
Yeah,
Something big to control the board, or his own beat would be pretty decent too.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
MP here.
Quest. Look at the top 2. See where we go.
So we see Dominic with a ton of ink here.
Dropping a Fortisphere.
Start the turn by just drawing some more cards. We can only imagine that Hiram will be joining him shortly to draw even more cards, and there it is.
Yep, there it is.
So Hiram sending that to the bin, drawing more cards,
All right.
taking up his lore to 2. And Dominic, honestly, in the driver's seat at the moment, just doing what he wants to do, playing out his game plan, drawing cards, controlling the board, and definitely, yeah, it's quite the machine he's building there.
Yeah, he's just replacing cards, digging through cards at this point.
And then we still have a card draw from Chicha here coming in.
Yep.
So there's another draw. Lots of draw.
And he's still sitting with 7 available ink to use this turn.
That is quite the problem for Chuck here.
Yeah.
We can only imagine what kind of monstrous. Oh,
There's the lucky dime.
That's a monstrous one.
So the timer has started for Wochuk. We'll see how soon Dominic is able to end this game in his favor if he can.
Yep. You gotta assume once that dime's coming that your days are numbered. So Chuck gonna try to find a way to close this out as soon as possible if he's able to.
Yeah, and Chuck really has no answers for songs in his current build, or sorry for items. My apologies.
Yep. He's just gotta have to deal with it, and it's gonna be a long trek. We got 15 lore to go here. Thankfully, our opponent has not yet played a Tamatoa, but you can only imagine after drawing so many cards, there has to be one waiting. So, it's a very big possible Tamatoa play next turn if he does have it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Chicha.
Chuck will sing and take the Chicha out once and for all. Although I do feel Chicha definitely got her worth getting out there.
Yeah, I think anything that happens after this turn was gravy, and so getting rid of it.
Yeah, she sat there for quite some time.
Yeah, she gave Dominic what he needed.
All right, so now we see Chuck reevaluating how we're gonna handle this here. Chuck obviously known for getting himself out of sticky situations here. So let's see if he can maneuver a way to stay alive in this game. I see him thinking about maybe singing with the Rapunzel. Okay, so he's just gonna go ahead and attack in.
Yep.
And then I'd imagine the Zeus coming close behind.
And he's separating. He's doing the ink math. He is turning Ariel sideways. I have to imagine you're right. Yep, and you were. That is a Zeus into the hero.
Yep, Zeus takes it out, and now he still has his full turn to play. When he did manage to clear off all the threats to the table. The problem here mainly is, although Wochuk clearing the board and playing a bunch of threats, it only takes one threat from Dominic to really clock in a serious amount of lore this next turn, which we have to imagine is on the way.
Yeah, I mean, a single Tamatoa at this point is equal to 10 lore, not counting any additional items that Dominic is able to put down. Yeah, so it's about 10 without any additional items that come down at this point. So, you have to think that while it feels good for Alex, in the position that he's in right now, you have to also think that at any moment with blue and blue steel specifically, and with a vision to look for the things that you need, it can go sideways really quick.
Dominic taking a peek into the future here, and I could only imagine there is a specific crustacean in the future.
Yeah, one shiny crab.
There should be a shiny looking crab that should be on the way here.
Yeah, actually could have paint for 11, because if he comes in, he gets an item as well.
Yep,
so
correct.
He'll play another popsicle and paint for 12.
Yeah,
correct.
I mean, quest for 6, paint for 6.
Yeah.
Tamatoa is very scary at the moment, and we have to imagine it's coming. And looked like that's it.
That was it. No, it was a
Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell. Okay, so he did not find the Tamatoa.
That's unfortunate. Now it puts him a lot in.
That's a bad spot to be in now.
That's exactly what Alex wanted to see. Okay, if that's what he has to see in a Tamatoa, then I think Alex is probably feeling good about this turn.
So Alex gonna get yet another turn to quest out.
6 lore on board.
Yeah.
another Pete will probably seal the game here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Plays 3.
He plays his own Pete.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
Yeah. Stop Alex from
Securing
being
the
able to
Tinkerbell
wheel.
Surviving.
Yep.
Yep,
The
yep.
back Pete right here will pretty much be an end of it, I think.
Let's see what we can do here. Alex picking up his cards slowly. And let's see what he has in store. Will he have the second Pete?
I don't. It depends. How many cards does Alex have in his hand? It's hard to see.
Yeah, he's got a few.
He does have a few cards in hand. It'll be interesting.
Pete
We're
will seal the deal here.
Well,
a
does he
3
have-
sideways.
Oh,
Oh, it's a
Gaston.
Gaston with another
Oh,
3
another
being the
Lawrence.
Okay.
A bunch of 3 cards, but none of them were Pete.
Alex over here playing with our hearts.
Yeah, man.
But still a lot of lore. I mean, it would add 3 more lore to the board
15.
here.
Yeah.
Comes up at 15, and he has to answer the whole board.
Yeah, you have to answer the whole board still. So even thinking through what Dominic has
There it
as
goes.
answers.
Here it comes.
I think he
Yeah.
says, you
Yeah.
got it,
4, 5,
show it to
6.
me.
Yeah.
It's 15. Oh, wait. Oh, he was at 6.
Yeah, Alex is asking Dominic, where's the lore at for sure.
All right. So check from Alex here over to Dominic. And we have to imagine Dominic has something here. He's going to draw some more cards.
There's a superpowered Tamatoa that may never show up, Skinner.
Well, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does not show up. And fortunately for Alex, the Hiram is gone, so we're not able to continue digging deeper into the deck. So we're going to have to just settle for the Fortisphere this turn. And we still have quite a bit of ink
Yeah,
available.
absolutely.
Curious to see what can be done with this.
Oh, we're paying for 7 now.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's able to grab that Tamatoa, it'd be worth 7. To Hector's point, for sure.
Grab your sword here would also be pretty lethal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grab
Oh,
your
we're
sword.
singing the
And there,
sword.
look, you called it. All right, grab your sword.
He's singing the swords.
I don't know about singing it there, though. Unless you have something else to play. Because if you hardcast and then Tinkerbell could kill something and ping
Yeah.
the Lawrence that's standing, right? And
Yeah,
get 2 more lore off the board.
You'd have to
Yeah.
wonder what else is in his hand, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're right. If assuming that there's nothing else, if he leaves a lot of that ink up, you have to
Here-
question whether it's the right call or not to
Because here
hardcast
Pete,
it.
Pete will kill Pluto, right? Then Tinkerbell will slam into the Rapunzel, pinging
Oh, there you
go.
Oh, another Tinkerbell, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's why he needed.
There's your answer.
He was going to be 1 short, and he knew it from the jump.
was
Okay.
No, he has Quill. He could have quilled anyways.
He
Yeah.
can still quill. You're right. He could
He
still
could have
quill.
cleared the whole board. I
Yeah.
think if he would have just hardcasted the. So he hardcast there, right? The Tinkerbell hits Pluto, pings the. Yeah, he would have cleared the whole board, I think. So now he just left him 2 lore for free, but still very commanding pressing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, never
Never
mind.
mind.
There you go.
Never mind.
Okay, so he had another way to do
And
it,
he has
but
dime too. So
Yeah, and he still has a dime.
yeah,
So that'll give him.
that's a cleanup
more,
on aisle
yep.
5.
He's
Yeah.
at 4.
That was one heck of a turn.
Yeah, I mean, but you figure he had to have something. He's drawn like 9 cards in 2
Yeah.
turns. So.
Yeah, for sure. He has seen a lot of cards. He's seen a good chunk of his deck. We see Chuck repeat slamming back a Zeus
Yeah,
in
He's far
response.
behind, man. Hardcasting Zeus.
yeah,
now
and
he's
passing.
getting- he has 5 lore on board.
Oh.
So he's at 4, right? He goes to 9.
Yep. All right, and he's using the lucky dime as well.
Yeah, the lore on the phone is not accurate, guys, because
He's at 9 right now.
oh, there he goes. He's got it.
There you go. Thank you.
No, he didn't draw anything to cast this turn. Wow. It
Yeah.
feels horrible to pass with an empty board.
That is wild.
It is crazy. Yeah, he's
Chuck-
blasting
Chuck
again.
is just crawling his way out.
He's 1 Zeus away from coming back into this game again.
But yes, but also, I mean, at any moment, a Tamatoa hits the table and it's GG.
Yeah, here comes Zeus. Here comes Zeus. Oh, he passed?
He passed it back.
This
Man,
is.
that's gone. He must be like 50 cards deep and no time at all.
I cannot imagine what
Yeah,
Alex
the
is
odds
feeling
are
right
right.
now.
Oh,
There's our shiny boy.
Yeah.
1, 2,
Yeah,
3,
I
4,
see.
5, 6, 7,
Alex
8.
Alex packed it up.
Yeah, Alex understands the natural order of things, and a shiny crab has taken the game.
That is a pack it up for sure.
Yep.
And we go to an exciting game 3.
We do, yes. This is going to be quite
All
wild.
the marbles winning in for the top 8 of
Yeah.
our 70-person event here today.
Continental's no
Yeah,
big deal.
he's qualified, but whatever, dude.
Who
It's-
cares?
Don't let it get to his head.
Yeah, don't tell him too much because he will let it get to his head. But we love him.
Wojciech starting off strong with a Daisy Duck and hoping to take it to the house here. We'll see how much lore we're able to crank out of this Daisy as we pass it back over to Dominic, inks obliquely and runs out a popsicle.
What'd you think it was?
Yeah.
It was either that or Fortisphere, huh?
You know, it could have maybe been, the one-drop kit.
It could have been.
Yeah,
but it probably wasn't.
But it's not in his deck, so probably
yeah,
not.
he needs to pack it first.
Yeah. So then we got 2 lore coming in. Let's reveal the top card for Dominic and see what that looks like. Here's the reveal.
It is.
And it is a Jim Hawkins.
Jim Hawkins, yeah.
So it will go back to his hand. And Alex at a commanding 2 lore. And we have 4 lore power possible. So...
All right, and we're seeing that that is the Jim Hawkins that gives Challenger for every ink that is put into the inkwell.
Yep, that is correct. So that challenge can get up to a Challenger 4 if he's able to double ink, and trades into a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It has that 4 willpower, so it doesn't fall over so easily.
It doesn't. It's gotten a lot of talk online as well. I know RMB has been talking about using its effect and being able to shift Jim Hawkins on top of it, getting a 9 attack on that thing. So.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely something a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, just being able to shift it into a 5/5 in general is just a real nuisance. We see Ariel singing a little song here, going under the sea, and let's see if she could find herself a new tune. Alex taking a little bit to think about it here. We can only imagine that he has maybe a couple choices.
Yeah.
So let's see what he ends up deciding on. He slowly picks one out. And a little hard to see what he is deciding on. I think he's still checking his hand.
He's comparing his hand to the floor.
Here. And it looks like he took a Strength of the Raging Fire.
Yep.
Which is a little hard to see, but I can make it out with the little fire arrows.
Yeah, little missiles and arrows and
They're
stuff.
They're not missiles,
They're
bro.
missiles, basically.
They're not missiles.
They're projectiles.
Well, on, they're not shooting missiles.
I guess it'd be arrows. My apologies.
They're arrows. Actually, they could be like those catapults that shoot like the fire thing.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
But they're probably arrows, but definitely not missiles.
Yeah. We're being told they might be fireworks even.
Fireworks even. Okay, fireworks. I like that. All right, so fireworks. Anything but missiles. All right, so let's take a look here. I love the side commentary we're getting here.
Yeah, listen, it's been a long day, okay?
It's been a long day, dude. If you want it to be missiles, it can be missiles.
Thank you. Finally.
All right, so let's see here. We have. Are we back on Dominic's turn already? I see, or is Wojciech? I imagine he's going to be questing.
Yeah, it looks like it's Dominic's turn. Dominic is deciding on what to ink at this point.
So he chose not to quest at all? Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't want to lose Daisy Duck over to the double cannons.
Double cannons. That's an interesting choice. I mean, that's effectively a 2-for-1.
Okay.
But if you had to get rid of one, I guess the aerial is the thing to get rid of.
Sure.
So I might have done the same thing if I'm being honest with you. So.
Okay. So now it takes away that Singer 5 from Alex.
Yep.
Which is very important. Singer 5 does enable a lot of the shenanigans for the Amber Steel deck. So just taking him offline of that, while still having a Jim Hawkins that can challenge very effectively into either of the 2 threats that Alex is presenting here.
Yeah, I mean, even not counting a whole new world, just a Zeus. If you could Zeus the Jim Hawkins with Ariel and prevent that shift line from happening.
Yep.
So you have to imagine that what Dominic is insinuating here is that he wants to get that shift off. Is the only thing I can imagine.
Right. And even if Wojciech was to decide to quest for 4 here, Hawkins can take his pick on either of the 2 and dispatch of it as long as he can ink 2 cards.
Correct.
Wojciech choosing to play it safe here and plays the 3-drop Gaston, which we haven't seen a whole lot of today. I know that's been one of Alex's premier inclusions in his list over time. He really likes himself that another 5 Singer rather, Singer 5. So really doing some work here, considering that the Ariel has been sent away. So he's presenting another Singer 5, potentially looking to sing some more expensive songs on his following turn here.
Yeah, and so we're seeing now just kind of the spot that Dominic finds himself in. He's looking to get that ramp going. That's what the deck wants to do. He needs to put himself in a position to do that. So he's spending that 3 ink. He's putting on that fishbone quill, establishing what needs to be established in order for him to climb the mountain that he needs to climb to win his game.
Absolutely. And we see 2 more ink coming down, and the Chicha joining the table here. Chicha able to draw some more cards in a little bit here once we get to ink some other cards.
Yep.
And in the meantime, Dominic hanging on to those 2 last cards in his hand, unless there is a carpet ride in his near future.
Yeah, and you'd have to imagine that we're getting close, and that we were saved that ride when that aerial was taken off the board.
For sure. But now Wochuk needs to really think about: are we going to be refilling this, this full hand for Dominic, considering how much ink he's been able to accrue there?
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to take that risk. We will see Wochuk deciding to quest first, which is pretty clear signal to me that he is going to wheel it away. Yep. And I believe we will be seeing the wheel shortly after here, if I had to guess. Okay,
Yeah,
so he's Zeus's first.
Yeah, he's making sure
And
that
then-
the usable cards are taken out of the picture
And
before.
there it goes.
And he just revealed that there was a second whole new world in his hand. So
Yeah,
he did burn.
so he had double.
Yeah, he was running. He was running with 2 in his hand. Not a great spot to be in. You want to spread those out as best as possible, but you can't really control that unless you're cheating. So
Absolutely. We don't want to be cheating.
no, that's bad. Cheating's bad.
So Alex, as we predicted, using that Singer 5 to go ahead and take them both on a Magic Carpet ride together. Very romantic of him, as he quests for 2 more in with Smee, as soon as he decides to let go of the card here. Alright, Smee questing in for another 2 ink, or another 2 lore, excuse me. Alright.
Yeah,
and
and
1 damage.
signaling the end of his turn by putting a damage on the Mr. Smee as indicated on the text of that card.
Absolutely. Passing it back over to Dominic, who is still at 0 lore. However, don't let that fool you.
No.
He just got 7 new cards in his hand, and does have quite a bit of ink available to him to play his turn as he sees fit. So Wochuk going up to 6 lore, and we'll see if Dominic's able to answer this with some counter pressure of his own. We see Dominic exerting 3 ink here, or 2 ink? 2 ink? Yeah, 2 ink.
Yeah, it was 2.
Okay, he's gonna sail. Sail!
Sail the Azurite Sea.
Alright, draw an extra card. So we can ink twice per turn, which Chicha will draw a card off of. And then we also have the Fishbone Quill still.
We do.
So we have lots of ways to get cards into our ink quill this turn.
Pleakley, I'm seeing in many games has been ink more often than not. So
Yeah.
You think about what does that mean exactly for that card, but
I haven't seen it do what it's supposed to do yet. It does seem like a good addition to the deck. I'd be interested to talk to Dominic and see how he feels about the
Yeah.
card today and how it performed. But so far, yeah, we have not seen Pleakley do what he does. We've only really seen him become ink.
Yeah.
Which I guess ultimately is his job anyway, is
Yeah.
to become ink, right?
that and hanging out with mosquitoes.
True. We have Tinkerbell coming to sprinkle some damage, some damage dust on the other enemy's side, and passing it back over to Alex.
Yeah, and Dominic's got the ink advantage certainly. Alex is taking a look at his hand, trying to figure out what can be done from this point. He's got a few characters on the table, but there's a Tinkerbell looming in the wings there.
Mm-hmm. Alex gonna have to find a way to squeeze out some damage here before Dominic puts himself into a better position here. Obviously, the longer this game goes, the more and more Dominic kind of slowly pulls ahead in his options to end the game. So we want to see if Alex is able to come up with a plan here to really put some pressure on Dominic.
Yeah, he's gonna have to, because the problem with with Sapphire Steel is it's really, really easy. Just that the differential in ink gives you the ability to start creeping back advantage, and it's crazy how quick that happens, and you don't even realize it until you go from one turn to the next, and there's a dime waiting for you, and then before you know it, you're going from 2 ink or 2 lore to 20 lore.
Absolutely. And Ariel taking a peek at the top 4 there, and I didn't get to see, did he grab a card? I didn't see if he did.
No, it didn't look like he did. It appears as though it was not the case.
So Pete comes down, stopping the actions. Gaston dispatching of that Tinkerbell, which is a great thing to do here. I'm able to just sing a song to kill off the Tinkerbell is something. Oh, we put that down
The
to the
lucky
bottom.
dime goes right to
We
the bottom.
want to see that at the bottom.
Yeah, this is one of 2 in this deck. So 50% of his lucky dimes is sitting at the bottom of that deck.
That is super sick. So we're hoping, Alex is happy to see that, and probably hoping that the other one has ended up in the inkwell or somewhere else, because that's one less thing to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex has got to be pretty excited about that, for sure.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, and so, taking a look at this board state here, it is definitely looking like Alex is in a good spot. Alex feels good about where he's at right now. So we want to keep it. He's going to want to keep it that way. He's debating what else he needs to do to win this game. Dominic is taking his turn now, and he's thinking he wants to turn 3 ink sideways.
Absolutely.
Now, what he's going to play, it'll be interesting to see. He's choosing 3. He's putting down a Pete. He's he hold on. He said wait.
Thinking about Pete, taking a little rewind here.
Yeah, so he gave Alex some information, but changed some perspective.
Little be kind rewind, and putting down that Pluto.
All right, so Chicha. So it looks like Dominic is opting to see what he draws with that Chicha first before ultimately deciding, okay, Pete is the right play. So and that is the right call. You want to make sure you see the cards, draw what you can draw before you decide to play something out, because you might draw something better.
Absolutely. Always the recommended way to do it is to always see the cards first, and then decide whether or not you're going to make that play. So Hawkins comes down here, and we see Dominic just kind of equaling out the amount of threats that Wojciech has out there. And we see 2 different Hawkins come in. We see the big one and the small one. Big Hawkins does decide to put a single damage counter on the aerial. And we will see if Wojciech's able to creep over. Okay, so we got 5 lore total, which could put Wojciech to 15 this turn.
It can, but is it the right move to just tap everything sideways? And
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
But it's still nice to know that that's the amount of burst that he has at the moment. I can imagine that this Daisy is definitely going to be going for 2 more lore, but I'm interested to see what else Alex is able to put together here.
I think the ideal line for Alex at this point is he's probably going to want to quest with that Daisy Duck. If he can get his hands on another whole new world, you sing that with the Gaston and then try to empty your hand as best as you can.
Another thing I haven't noticed is Dominic. Is he playing Cogsworths?
Dominic,
he is. He's playing 3 Cogsworths. We have not seen any.
No, we have not.
Which is actually great news for Alex, because truthfully, I think a lot of these trades would be way less favorable for him if we had that Cogsworth in play. So there comes Pluto, who's been an absolute all-star all day today.
Yeah.
That 5/5 body is just so overstated, and he's just able to bodyguard for your whole table. So very good addition there for all these steel decks that I've been playing it today.
Yeah, and it looks like in the case of Alex's deck, I know he generally is known for playing Chen Pao, and it looks like that is what has replaced Chen Pao for him.
Yep, absolutely. And he sends the quill to the bottom of the deck. And Alex ticking up to 15, just putting the pressure on and saying, "Hey Dominic, if you have it, show it to me."
Yeah.
He inks an aerial, and I believe passes the turn.
And now Dominic is in his position where he needs to do something or just accept his fate.
We see, just clarifying everything, cleaning up the board here. Okay, so now Dominic draws his card, and immediately we see him reaching for ink, which is not a good sign usually when your opponent immediately starts grabbing for stuff. But let's see if Dominic's able to piece together a solution here.
Yeah, he's looking through his board. He's thinking through, what does this turn need to look like for me to get back some level of control? What needs to happen for me?
Right. So obviously we don't know what's in the hand. We would probably need to send 2 things into either send 1 Hawkins into Pluto or send a baby Hawkins into him, and then finish him off with the big one. That way he only takes 1 damage.
Right. And he's fishing, so he's looking for something still.
Trying to find the most effective way for him to trade here on board.
Yeah,
But
and with Fishbone Quill down, Dominic could, in theory, ink 2 cards, which would let him draw a card with Chicha. Oh, and he's choosing to sing the Grab Your Sword.
that's a big one.
Yeah.
That is a big one.
That is important, and he's got that Jim Hawkins with 2 ink potentially, can boost that thing up to Challenger 4. per its ability, the Jim Hawkins.
Yep, that is an important thing to see here. And Pluto getting kicked a bit here and down to a 1-5, which is able to be cleared up by the Pete.
Yep.
So very good solution here.
Yeah, it allowed him to keep his Pete. So he put that damage on that Pluto, making sure that Pluto no longer has the four attack. So Pete will survive to be part of that board presence that you want to really have control of.
And let's not forget that Chicha has support. So even if she decides to quest here, which she is, and she's going to provide that support over to Hawkins.
You're right.
And Hawkins able to just do easy pickings here on the Daisy Duck, which will be cleared off the table. Alex offering either or, but it's pretty clear we're taking the 2 lore quester here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Pete stands alone, and we still have a whole lot of ink.
Yeah, we haven't even started tapping the ink. We only used 1 to drop that Fortisphere.
And they can only do one thing.
Yep, 8 + 1 equals shiny crab and a popsicle.
Crab and a popsicle. All right. Yep. Dominic says, your go.
Dominic's got to be feeling better here. It's not perfect yet. He needs to start turning things sideways and start making points.
He's not out of the woods yet, but definitely great job dealing with the very scary board that Wochuck was presenting last turn. And Chuck is questing in for 1, or is he singing something? Looks like he might be singing and chooses to sing and take the Chicha out.
Yep.
All right, gets him 1 card deeper. Looks like he drew a 1-drop Cindy, which isn't going to help too much at the moment.
It's not. No, it's not.
Let's see what he's able to piece together here. You can imagine he was probably hoping for a Rapunzel or something here.
Yep. And we see him ink a card. Can Alex do something here? Or is Alex relegated to just watch Dominic go from 0 to 20?
Yeah, thankfully we know one of the dimes is at the bottom of the deck. So it's not an immediate threat, but still we know that he has multiple. Oh, there we go.
He's opting to sing it.
And both times now that he's played Whole New World, he's discarded the other one. So
yep,
looks like he's been drawing them in multiples.
Yeah, so that'll be the last time he gets to do that this game.
He gets rid of the Aerial though, which is a nice hit there.
Yeah,
Aerial definitely could have been a scary one and rack up lore very quickly. So he wheels that away, and we have 7 new cards for Dominic, which is a scary thing to think about.
It is, yeah, and we've got now a lot of lore sitting on Dominic's side of the board, ready to turn sideways. You've got Tamatoa sitting with 5. You've got the Shift Jim Hawkins that has 2. So that's 7. Pete is
another Tinkerbell.
Yeah, there comes Tinkerbell and a fire the cannons.
Says, don't even bother with the dice.
Yeah, don't worry about putting damage on them. They're going away.
Oh boy, empty board for Wochuck. Getting a nice look at the playmat, but there are no characters in play.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And so Alex has got to be feeling some level of despair at this point, just knowing that he's fighting as best as he can, but that there's not going to be much that he can do.
Yep, Dominic just slowly crawling away with the victory here.
Yeah.
As Alex just tries to find any way to squeeze out the last 5 lore he needs here.
Yep, and so that puts him up by 6. That tapping of that Tamatoa brings back a popsicle to continue digging for whatever it is that he may want.
Absolutely. And we see the heartbreak happening in slow motion here as Dominic decides what he wants to do with the remaining lore. Here's a Pete, just in case you were thinking about doing something extra there.
Yeah, and we want to quickly say thank you as well. We just got word that the Forbidden Mountain they rated us. So
sick.
Yeah, so we're up over 100 viewers right now. So thank you all so much for rating this. We hope you're enjoying the stream.
Hope your guys' stream went well as well. I know Forbidden Mountain, awesome guys. A couple other guys are here actually wearing their jerseys. So thank you guys for rating us. And I know you guys had your own event today, so lots of positive wishes. Hope your guys' event went amazing. And thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate that.
It's been a great weekend for Lorcana, so it's good to see that it's happening all across the board.
Absolutely.
And so as we watch this now,
Alex reloads, and suddenly it doesn't look so bad. But let's keep in mind, we're not at 1.
Yeah, we just jumped.
So that looks
a
little
11.
That's it. Okay, fist bumps all across, and Dominic cleans it up and manages to skither away with the victory here.